So I've got something really interesting that I'll be introducing. Do I call it a series or do I say it's a season? All I know is it's going to be broken down in episodes. We're going to be talking about the realities of a youth, and I'll be breaking this into about say 7 to 8 or 10 episodes, and I would like you guys to journey with me on this because this particular journey will be very much conversational because I intend to relate with the realities of what a Nigerian youth or any youth is faced with in the society today. The internal struggles, the external struggles, the in-betweens, everything, all of it. We will be discussing that right here on A Moment with Love. And so this is me saying, hello lovers, welcome to A Moment with Love. Today, I officially introduce us to this series or season, like I call it, of the reality of a youth, which will be broken down in episodes. And today, I have decided to talk about the first episode, which is the pressure to have it all figured out. I mean, isn't that such a relatable topic or conversation that you want to have? You know what's crazy? The fact that nobody actually really prepares you for the adult life. Nobody prepares you really. I mean, from 20s upward, you have no idea what is waiting for you. And like I shared in my previous video, the only way to actually prepare well is to have a good start of self-consciousness, self-awareness, and then having the right people around you that influence the kinds of decisions you make, because they will be a foundation for the results you'll be having tomorrow. So let's dive right into it. Like I said, this is really going to be relatable, especially because I'm one person who have always had big dreams, just like anybody. And you know what is really crazy? It's the fact that nobody really tells us that the journey to executing, to manifesting those big dreams is not a very smooth ride. Nobody tells you what decision to make at what certain point of your life. There's barely anyone around to tell you what to do when you don't know what to do or what direction to take next. It's like waking up one morning and realizing life has just started. No blueprint, no manual, no one to really hold your hand, no rehearsal, just expectations to meet that dream. Just demands to meet that dream. Just pressure to meet that dream. Yes, pressure from inside and outside as well. So an average youth is faced with the realities of career, marriage, financial independence, purpose, success, and somehow you're just supposed to figure all of it out. And if you don't, it just feels like you're behind because everyone seems to be figuring it out, at least in your eyes. Everyone seems to be getting on the next job, the next best partner, relocating, starting that new business, and you feel stuck. You're asking yourself, what about me? What seems to be going on? What am I not doing right? Let's talk about the pressure in all of this and how to actually breathe through it. Like, breathe through it. So, there's a silent kind of panic that comes with not knowing your next move. You smile, you act composed, but inside you, through it all, you just don't know what you're doing. And inside of you, you're asking, God, am I really doing this? Is this really it? Do I seem like I'm going to be making headway with this? Like many youths today, they studied one thing but ended up doing another thing. Some still trying to even figure out what they want to do. Or maybe you thought that by now you should have been established. But here's what I've learned. And here's what I've discovered. You are actually improving. It might look like time is passing by and the measure of success you have so set for yourself is not being attained. But sit back and count the blessings of being here, of being able to dream, of being able to still long for the things that you so desired but actually haven't gotten there. Think again. Perhaps you've been making baby steps towards that dream. Maybe just not as big as you would want it. I once heard someone say to me, even in failures, there's something to learn because then you've learned what not to do. You see? So even if you have tried something before now, rest in the fact that at least you now know what not to do. Even though you haven't figured what to do next or how to go about it, but at least you've got one thing sorted. What you shouldn't do. Because you see, even the ones that look like they've got life all sorted, they're winging through it. Some are waiting for doors to be open, and others, they're just taking it one day at a time. You're not late, and you're human. Honestly, you're growing through the confusion in ways you can't even imagine. You know something I realized, I think this week? I often would wonder, why do people tend to say, no be me on I go pressure? Why do people say that? People should be able to live their lives without you feeling threatened. I mean, if it means them, putting out their successes, putting out their happiness and all of that. And so I realized that it was much more a mental or psychological thing to relate with, which was maybe they're just literally saying, this worked for this person. I guess I might be doing something wrong. Maybe it's just stemming from a place of quest to want to know what are they actually not doing. And for me, that felt like something I could relate with. That felt like, okay, if this is what people call pressure, maybe I can buy into the idea. But here's something that's even much greater. You're a different human being. You know what the Bible said about you? You're beautifully and wonderfully crafted, made, you for you. You know how we say one of one? Your only prototype is God because you were made after His image. Right? And so it simply means your journey is different. Your dream is different. How you pace through it is different. The level of speed you will experience in different seasons of your life is entirely different from the next person. And when you think of yourself as special, when you think of yourself as mindfully created by God, you'll understand that God is in the process with you. He's not in a hurry with you, my darling. You see, for many of us, the perspective we share is that results must be visibly seen. But I've come to tell you that it's not always in the yeses that you have gotten. It's not always in the approval. It's not always in the promotion. It's not always in the good news. You have to see progress differently. Progress simply means moving from one point to another in a way that must have added value to you. So think of it. Would you really say that in your trying to achieve a thing, there was no value added? Are you really going to say that? Take a moment. Would you say that? I'm pretty sure the answer you'd have in your heart is exactly what I think it is. No. Exactly. So you are making progress. Maybe just not in time as you have willed or as you desire. And so you know what progress is? It's waking up with purpose even when the path is not clear. It's learning to rest without guilt. It's saying no when you need boundaries. It's realizing that confusion isn't failure. It's simply you figuring it out. And that in itself is okay, baby. You know why? Because pressure is the birthplace for clarity. Think about that. Think about it. The last time you lost, or the one time you lost, what did you do? You stopped. Perhaps you took a pause. You took a breath. And then you tried to analyze, what could you have done? You see that very act? That was you looking for a sign. And that in itself was a season of trying to figure things out. It's all part of the process to progress. That's all part of the process to progress. Click that. You don't need all the answers to say you've made progress. Start small. Journal the thought. Sometimes dream in the thoughts. What do I mean by that? Stay dreaming. You have a dream. Keep it at the forefront of your heart. Even when the dream is yet to be manifested, you can dream on your dreams. It's a way of keeping it alive. It's a way of not letting it die. So think about them. Build intimacy with your dreams. Sleep on it. Spend time with it. Build on it. Because God doesn't give up the entire full map at once. He gives us a picture and then He expects us to take a step. And as we take that step, the next step unfolds. Did I just say that to actually point out that obedience is very much necessary in the life of a youth that is trying to figure life out? In alignment with purpose, by the way. So when you hear that one instruction, when you've gotten that one idea, what do? Taking a step is in obedience to God. That's what it is. So ask yourself, are you obeying? And so if you're in that weird place where everyone seems to be moving forward and you're not, be careful, because people might be moving, but they might just be sprinting into things that are not meant for them. And guess what the good news is also? They might actually be sprinting into what is meant for them. But you must learn to hold both truths. And as a matter of fact, the good side of it. Yeah, so that it keeps you motivated. We shouldn't be faced with people's reality and you want to spew or comfort yourself with the negativity of it. Or what if it is not? What if it is? My darling, it could be. And sometimes it is. So would you say you can't handle it or you're unable to deal with it? No. People shouldn't be the reason why you unnecessarily have to question if you're doing something right or not, especially when it comes to purpose. I would say that internalizing the situation, finding out from within yourself first what the issue might be, sitting with yourself in God is what I would consider the first best step to always take when you feel like you might be getting it wrong with purpose, or there might be something you're doing that isn't just allowing you achieve the right results. Here's something else that if you stay dreaming on your dreams, you will figure. I mean, as a youth, I want to believe that I'm also speaking to people that can relate with this kind of experience. It's the lie of figuring it out. Let me tell you what it's about. It's the culture that makes you believe that some way, somehow, when you zoom into the future, you can see yourself well established. Everything is sorted. And how that there's a version of you who has everything perfectly fine. When you dream dreams, you definitely would be comforted by this. I mean, the career, the perfect marriage, landing that dream job, mounting podiums and giving speeches, traveling the world. But guess what? That version of you cannot exist if you constantly be in denial of the things that you need to do in your current season. And so that version of you cannot appear in one day. It is progress. Where you are right now is part of the story for your journey, for the version of you that you keep seeing in the future. So have in mind that you're formed through every stage that you go through in life, like right now. I think another positive thing to bear in mind when it comes to you trying to make progress with purpose is everything you survive now is going to form you. That you want to see in the future is going to be birthed as a result of the things you have so survived in your present day. So instead of figuring it out, how about we start living it out, living that dream by being consistent, by showing up and allowing yourself to fail gracefully, accepting rejections and using them as tools and armors to press on even more. I think that would be better. Because here's what nobody says. Failure doesn't mean that you've missed purpose. It simply just shows that you tried at something, at least. You're allowed to evolve. You're allowed to outgrow your plan. To say at least, this is not what I want. To rewrite your timeline. To say, this is not what I expected, but maybe that's what I need right now. The truth is, every season prepares you for the next one, even the confusing one. I beg say, especially the confusing ones. I'm someone who has really big dreams, and just like I said earlier, I have projections of what my future holds. I see the jobs, I see the perfect, the perfects of almost everything. But I'm here, and guess what? I forgot to turn this on the entire time. But yeah, guess who is sitting in the growth that has come from within and not focusing so much on the external results? Me. So if you're watching this and you feel like life is passing, you just pause and breathe. Look at how far you have survived the things that you survived. You've survived quietly while the world wasn't watching. You've learned resilience, patience, humility, pressing on, fixing your gaze at something. And that counts. Because you don't have to figure it all out at once. You just have to keep showing up with a dream very much alive in mind. So here's what you can do tonight. Take your journal and write these 3 things down. What makes your heart come alive? What gives you peace? And something you'd like to grow in the next few weeks, in the next month, in the next season. And then clarity will meet you along the way. You are not behind, you are not late, you are becoming. And that's absolutely beautiful. Alright, that's all for today's talk on the pressure of figuring it out. Thank you for sharing this space with me, and if you did enjoy this video, I'd like to indulge that you drop your comments in the comment section, share the video, and of course like it. And if you haven't followed me on my YouTube page, go search A Moment with Love on YouTube and across every other platform, specifically Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It's always going to be your girl, Love, on A Moment with Love. I love you so much, lovers. Bye.